Well, I have nothing but time, so I figured I'd talk about something, maybe a little story. There's a cat in the yard that's not supposed to be here. He has it in for that cat. Anyway, that cat will whoop his ass. But the story goes. And the reason I'm talking about this story is because when I read Nicholas's reply about his dog's name was Winnie, it reminded me of my dad's aunt, which would be my great aunt. But I always called her my aunt because she was my aunt. Her name was Winifred Funk. Yes, and that was my grandma's maiden name, was Funk. She was born nearly deaf. And people would always yell at her because she was loud and she didn't talk very plain. It was more like a mumbling. I could understand her, but she would get really, really loud. And I always felt really bad because they would always go, "Shh, Winnie, Winnie, shh." Or they would tell her plain to shut up. I wasn't down with that at 5, and I'm not down with that at nearly 50. She was wonderful. And there's this time that I was sent away to a mental hospital because I was speaking a language that was not taught to me. I was in prayer, and my juvenile probation officer just happened to walk in and hear me. And my mom and my grandma was with her. For 3 days, I went into a children's acute mental facility, and I couldn't figure out why I was there. I was like, what's going on? I'm not crazy. What's going on? And I fought it at first, and then I started to pay attention around me. There was this girl that had a brain tumor, and I don't know why her parents put her there. It was horrible. I'm talking about a place for kids this back when they still could, and they still can. But it was more prominent then that they could strap you to the bed. Our beds had leather straps for your feet and for your arms that hung off the sides. It was a really crappy place to go. I was 14. There was this girl that everybody was afraid of, and they had planted that fear into me. Not too deeply, but when she ran at me the very first time and ripped my crucifix off my neck, that kind of freaked me out. But she ended up being really dear to me. She wouldn't sleep at night. She wanted to come and sit on my bed. And since they could not control her, really, without medication, they allowed her to do that. And I asked them if they would allow her to do that. And she was in a room by herself for a reason or whatever. She could be very violent. She even came at me, and I was so scared, and told me that I was the devil. But before I left, she was constantly at my side and always hanging on to me. I took her under my wing. Actually, speaking of wings, the whole wing I took under my wing as I was there. And I met one of my spirit guides come to my bedside one morning. Big black woman, beautiful. And we had a conversation that I'll save for another time. But I ended up having a prayer circle every evening. Every kid would show up. Now, had I really rebelled, I may not have been able to put myself into a place where to see what I was there for. What was my mission? What am I here for? Sometimes we're placed into things in places we've never been and never seen, or rarely see. And we feel like we're being punished. And I think the best policy is to not look at it that way. Turn it to your advantage, to others' advantage. That's my water running still. It's 25 degrees. We've had power for 24 hours. And I've had a hot bath. I slept so good last night. However, I'm out of my green medicine, so the pain was really hard to deal with this morning. And Neil came in. He heated up my frankincense oil this time and put it all over from my spine all the way down to the backs of my legs. So I'm hoping that since they don't have like salt and they have some, but they don't have like salt and sand trucks like they do up north. But hopefully they'll get out and about because Neil's lost a week of work, and that's a no pay. He already took his vacation, so he can't use that. But we'll make it. We'll figure it out. When we got together, we had $5 left after our pay every week. So times have changed, and we're doing a lot better than we were when we met. And we've made it through some crazy stuff, and here we still are. You just never know. I just wanted to talk because I'm bored, and I can't get out of the house now unless I want to dive into a foot of snow because it snowed more yesterday. So I love you guys. What kind of stories do you have? I'm really bored today. So come on with it, people. Give me some stories. I love you. Show me how to make something. I don't know. Sing to me. Let's dance. I don't know. Something. I love you. Have a beautiful day.